Yes, Sirski.
We are back.
For sure, man. We back out here. You got that tribal vibe on.
Shout out to Mike B.
Silk. That's so tribal.
Yeah, you know, leader of the new school. Old school.
That's a fact,
leader
man.
of the Pod Revolution.
That's
a lot to talk about.
That's a lot to talk about. For sure, man. Welcome back to Blackout, man. So much to talk about. Just want to remind everybody quickly, tomorrow we will be doing a YouTube live at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Earn Your Leisure YouTube channel, and that will be how to teach your kids about money. And everybody knows that we created a curriculum, school curriculum. This is actually, we're going to be going through the school curriculum.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Because, you know, a lot of parents have been asking, like, yo, how can I get access to the school curriculum? So we can't have time to go through everything.
Yeah.
But we're actually going to be going through the curriculum with the principal that helped us develop the curriculum. So for all you parents out there that have been asking, like, you know, can I see the curriculum? Are you going to be, you know, selling the curriculum? This is going to be an insight look into that. And we're going to be talking about, you know, what parents need to do as far as to change their mindset when it comes to money, to be able to teach their kids about money. But we're actually going to be teaching tangible steps, just like how a teacher would teach a classroom.
Yep.
About stocks, about real estate, about credit. Like, we have modules, we have videos. We're going to be going through the whole thing. So tomorrow at 9 o'clock, vitally important. If you're a parent, if you're a grandparent, if you're an uncle or aunt, godmother, godfather, looking to have parents in the future, educator. A lot of teachers out there have been hitting us up like, yo, my school don't have it, but I'm trying to teach my students about it. So educator on any level.
Yeah.
Any type of youth program that you have. If you're a youth pastor, anybody that works with young adults, let's say that.
Yeah.
Vitally important, and for yourself as well, but vitally important to know about finances and how to actually break it down on a very digestible level. So that's tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
What age should we start teaching kids? Because if like the average expectancy is 60, it's a huge mistake to wait to 22 or 23 though.
I think you can start soft lessons as young as 7.
Yep.
As far as, like, you know, just little stuff. Obviously, you're not going to teach somebody about how to trade options at 7 years old, but, you know, just teach them little stuff about, you know, the value of money, about, you know, a credit card. Like, what is a credit card? When you're using a debit card, like, what are you doing when you pay a bill at a restaurant?
Absolutely.
Little
Let
stuff
them
like
see
that.
the bills, what things cost.
For sure.
Yeah.
As young as 7, and then, you know, I took my son goes to public school right now, but I took him to visit a private school last year. He's in 8th grade, so last year he was in 7th grade. And the private school that I took him to visit, in the school, they had a building for entrepreneurial.
That's fire.
Skill set.
That's amazing.
So they teaching kids about raising money.
Okay. Oh wow.
They teaching kids about running businesses, investing at 8th grade level.
It's needed.
So it's not by accident, obviously, that, you know, the more access you have. I never saw that before.
Me either.
Ever.
No.
And
not in our school.
And like I said, they had a whole building.
Yeah.
It's a campus, right? But they had one building that was dedicated to business and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
The whole entire building. Classes, like 5 kids in the class. Round table, no desk. We had a round table like we have in a business meeting.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Talking about things, you know, you don't agree with this. Why you don't agree with this? We got it. Because that's how business meetings happen.
Absolutely.
It don't happen when you just sitting 30 people in a desk and I'm just telling you this.
Like a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, that exposure is vitally important. So just learning that as young as possible, I think, is important.
I agree. And parents, I know sometimes you may feel that you want to shield your child from learning, or they have their whole lives to figure this out. But the way the economy is going, they really don't. Like, our kids have to be equipped earlier than ever, because now when these curriculums become available, when they're 20 and 30, they're going to say, well, you should have learned it when you were a kid.
That's a fact.
Information is there. YouTube is there. They're going to weapon it. We'll talk about Meta versus Apple versus Spotify, media, podcasting.
Facts.
Things are changing. The political landscape is changing. So please empower your kids early. And make it simple. If you teach them 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day for a year, they'll have everything that they need. So tune in.
It's like regular literacy, right? Like, what if you learned to read when you was 25 years old? How far behind the 8 ball would you be?
Absolutely.
Like, what if you first learned how to use a calculator at 27 years old,
man.
right? Like that's how you got to look at learning how to do business, learning how to start. Like that's why it's a reason why they teaching kids like this in such young ages, because it's like by the time you're 23, you already started a company. Mark Zuckerberg, you think Mark Zuckerberg just started Facebook as a 20-year-old dropout from Harvard?
Third company or something.
He was already educated on business. He had to be educated on business. Nobody, I don't care how smart you are, no 20-year-old is going to have the wherewithal, foresight, intuition to put all that together at 20 years old.
Yeah. By happenstance.
So
you got to teach small little lessons. They definitely add up. So
for sure. Any announcements that you would like to make?
Yeah, if you want to get rich in the market, go to InvestFest.com, join redpanda.com. I know some of y'all have some commentary about if I called in video or not. For the record, it's on Market Mondays. I know some of y'all just like to watch clips on Instagram.
Facts.
But I'm great at this shit. I do this. I remember even when I was saying it's not going to fall that far. So yeah, if you want to get rich from the market, and shout out to all of you who are executing quietly, making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Shout out to Edwin, he in Japan at Microsoft. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but kudos and congrats to you. Yeah, I'm proud of those of you who are executing and staying off the internet with a lot of opinion with low net worth.
Okay. All right. Well, time has come. Let's get into this. Let's start with something that's trending. The Young Dro clip. Man, you know, she even showing this clip is a little triggering.
Absolutely.
For me. Because it is uncomfortable. For sure.
Yeah.
But let's play this clip. Let's play the clip. Okay. So shout out to Dro, first of all.
Absolutely.
Shout out to T.I. Shout out to the whole crew. It was uncomfortable for me to watch because I feel like, I know in that moment, like I'm somebody that I laugh a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we always, we joke about things, even things that might not necessarily be appropriate to laugh at. Like that's kind of how like I grew up, like laughing about inappropriate things. So I understand that. But it's just some things just not funny
at all.
So it's like, all right, the first time he's, laugh, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like most people might not understand why he laughed at all.
Yeah.
But, I don't know their relationship, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. They probably play around, they joke a lot. The dude's a comedian. So, all right, I can understand that. Even the second time, because he was like, he took a bad pill. Like, you know what I'm saying? All right, he made a joke about it. But when he said his daughter, almost OD, that to me, I just can't understand why you would laugh about something like that. And especially on, so on the Breakfast Club syndicated radio show, like, people's going to be watching it. Like, yeah, that just was kind of a very uncomfortable moment.
Yep. Yeah. And then you said they're going to slap you, then you get mad. But it's like, even the joking about the bad pill with the fentanyl crisis, rich homie Quan just passed. What's funny about that?
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not defending him, but how many times people joke about somebody being a crackhead? Looking back on like that, is that really funny? But we made comedy out of it, right? We made comedy out of dope fiends. We made comedy out of, so it's like, I understand that, a lot of comedy, especially black comedy, comes from pain.
Absolutely.
Right? Like this goes back to slavery.
Yeah.
The comedy comes from pain. And sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying. So it's like we always, even if you look at Kings of Comedy, a lot of that stuff, like when Bernie Mac he's making jokes about somebody getting molested.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's not something to actually laugh about, but it's like, it was funny how he worded it. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like you watching that. I remember even watching it as a kid, I'm laughing and I don't even fully understand what he's talking about, but that's an inappropriate joke.
Yes.
Right. But like I said, there is leeway in comedy for inappropriate jokes. But some things are just not funny. And when he said his daughter, it just, I think it brings to the conversation people were saying online of like, what's a friend? Because people do shit like that a lot where there's a lot of hate that's hitting in jokes.
Absolutely.
You got to watch those jokes because there'd be a lot of hate
inside those jokes.
Like every joke is not really a joke.
Yep.
Some shit is like motherfuckers hating or they trying to keep you on a certain level.
Yeah. And they're not man enough to just come out and say what they don't like. Yeah.
You ever been in that type of situation before?
Thousands of times. Even when I'm watching it, first time was funny. I don't know if he's a mechanic because Dro said that. I don't know if Dro is being funny because he's hilarious. But stop making moments off of other people's moments. A lot of times, like when I had friends that were doing incredibly well and they were tiers above me, when I went to support, I went and supported. I didn't try to make the shit about me. In that moment, I'm like, why are you trying to take his moment and put the spotlight on you? We've all been on camera. We've been in the rooms with some of the friends who've done the same thing. And it's like, well, why isn't the crew as big? Sometimes the people, and it's hard to say, but sometimes the crew make you stop bringing them around because of actions like that. I don't know their relationship, but that's not something I would want a friend to do to me, especially if I'm talking about my child who almost overdosed. Going back to the conversation in the music industry. Let's say Dro had issues before, but how are all of these artists dying from drug overdoses? And then as soon as they finally get clean, they relapse and die. So it's a deeper, darker criminal link. But for the friends who are subtly hating, I feel bad for you because a lot of people are talking a lot less. And the crazy part that no one's telling you guys, people are getting hipper to the bullshit that you're doing.
No, that's real shit. And I feel like that's real shit. You got to evaluate your circle, and everybody don't need to be there. My thing is like, if you don't need to be there, you're not going to be there.
No need to be.
Ain't nothing personal. It's nothing personal. But it's like, if we handling business, let's treat it like business.
Absolutely.
Like if I have a job, I can't bring my friend to my job.
Yep.
Right. So when we doing radio and press, that's a job.
Absolutely.
So it's like, okay, who needs to be there? The people that's speaking. Maybe somebody that's logistically handling things that would traditionally be like a manager.
Yeah.
If you got a PR person, maybe a cameraman that's actually capturing the footage. Everybody that I named is actually involved in a situation.
Yes.
It ain't just like the homeboy or even somebody that's like potentially I'm trying to put on. If you're not behind the microphone, you don't need to be there.
Yep.
Or you need to be doing something.
Yeah.
Here, hold this cell phone and you capture organic cell phone footage. That's what happens when you just.
That would be a great help if some did that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you just hear why are you here?
Or you ever been there and you bring them and they capture the footage for themselves but won't Dropbox it to you? It's like, damn, this is my event. You can't shoot me the files. You.
Meek Mill said something. Meek Mill said something the realest shit. He was like, he said I done took dudes to the Clearport that never been to the airport. And they don't want to carry a bag. The fuck is you here for? Like he's saying, like I took friends on private planes before they took a commercial plane.
Yep.
And they complain about carrying a bag.
Yep.
But why are you here?
Yeah. Entitlement.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like,
but as leaders, we also create the entitlement too, out of trauma, giving people opportunities that we wish we had and think people would carry them a certain way. And even for that brother, not to pile on him, but this is the world's first experience with you for the most part. Yeah. It was not a good representation.
No.
Even for T.I. to have to stop that and
he's gonna be forever known as the dude that was laughing when he said his daughter overdosed on drugs.
Come on, man. Come on.
Watch your friends.
Yeah.
That's why I always say less is more, man. It ain't about just having a bunch of people around. People will, even words are powerful. So it's like when somebody's constantly being negative to you, then you start to doubt yourself.
Absolutely.
You start to have low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
You start to, and people do that because misery needs company.
Yeah.
It's like, I never forget, even Mike Epps said that before when he was like, the dude that he really looked up to in the streets. He used to always, like, whenever he was doing good, he come around, he have an attitude, like he ain't really talk to him. But then he was like, when he was down, he would give him coke, he start sniffing coke.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's when he like showed him love. Like, yo, don't worry, man, I'm here for you, I'll support you.
Yeah.
And he was like, he only did that when he was down in the most vulnerable position on drugs. But he was like, when he was up, he never, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause he wanted him down.
Yeah. To be in the same stratosphere.
Yeah, he didn't want him. He didn't want to see him up because seeing him up was higher than him.
Absolutely.
He wanted to keep him under him.
Yeah.
Where he can kind of manipulate the situation, you know, keep him at arm's bay.
Yeah. A good lesson too, watch who lights up when you come around. You can fake the words, the body language and actions. This is in business, personal relationships, family. Watch who lights up when you come around. If you're helping people, and I've gone through it with friends and people I've dated, the disdain starts to kick in. And why are you working so hard? Or why are you moving? Or why are you not? Because if you can do it, you would. Like, even talking about media landscape, like how blessed are we to be able to have built a partnership platform to be able to do this for a living? And a lot of people took it for granted. We were talking about it yesterday. Like, you can't record once every 3 weeks and put up Instagram posts once every 6 days. Some of y'all be like, yo, you be on my feed all day. The team is doing their job. I don't think I'm posting enough. Like, be appreciative, but in this last quarter of the year, evaluate your circle and see who should be around and who shouldn't be.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
All right.
But if you joke about my kid, I'm gonna slap you live on air. We're gonna go viral.
Nah, that shit not funny. And and we're gonna have to reevaluate the friendship after that.
Oh, no more friendship. You gonna act tough after you was wrong? With no fucking talking points that you brought. Like, bro, what?
That's a fact.
Okay.
That's a fact.
I hear you.
That's a fact.
Knowledge with a body slam you right on the new table. MD, I'm sorry. Again, I was sorry again. Sorry for breaking y'all tables up here.
That's a fact.
Go home, Roger.
All right, so let's get to something that's very hot topic as far as Kamala Harris. And it's been some issues, and it's been an interesting week. So, you know, reports have come out that she's struggling with black men. Struggling is relative because, like I said, she'll still win the majority of black men. But when you start losing 15%, that matters.
Yes.
To a demographic that usually you would have 90%, 92%, right? Like 85% is a lot. It's a big difference between 85% and 92%.
Yeah.
May not seem like a lot, but it's a big difference.
Yeah.
Especially in states where there's a lot of black men that are swing states, like Georgia, like Pennsylvania, like, you know, Michigan.
Yep.
You know, these are states that, you know, you talking about Detroit, Michigan. That's Absolutely. Motown. You talking about Flint. Philly.
Yep.
You talking about, you know what I mean? You talking about Flint, Michigan. You talking about Atlanta, Georgia. Like, this is black men.
Yeah.
Capitals. So this is a very interesting conversation because President Barack Obama, he made some news because he spoke to a group of black men and people thought that his tone was condescending.
Yeah.
And he thought that the way that he spoke to them wasn't fair. Yeah. Let's say that.
Yes.
And he was disappointed in the lack of support that she's getting as opposed to what he got when he ran from black men. And it's been a thing. And the New York Times actually, you know, shout out to my cousin Khaled. He's locked up right now, and it's interesting because when I talk to him, he has his own political views about how criminal justice system works and how candidates are not addressing that issue.
Okay.
And how the inmates in jail feel about different political figures. But he actually told me about the New York Times article because he read it, and I Googled the New York Times article, and because the New York Times was there, but I didn't know I never saw what they actually had put out.
Okay.
So they actually wrote an article about black men not supporting Kamala in Georgia and how it's going to, you know, cause issues for the Democrats. And they were at InvestFest, so they cited them being at InvestFest. They interviewed somebody at InvestFest who said that he's a lifelong Democrat, but he's not going to vote for any party this year. He's going to write in a candidate.
Wow.
So this leads to a lot of back and forth. People being frustrated with black men, like, you holding up the line, just push it through. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then other people pushing back, like, nah, like, you know, we got a right to kind of hold the line up if we need to. And then there's people saying the media, it's not really even a story. The media is making it a story to use black men as a scapegoat if she does lose.
That's
as opposed to holding other groups accountable, like white women. So what's your thoughts on this?
Layered conversation. I think we have to realize that Barack is a once in a lifetime talent across the board. Take politics out of it. Like, rock star level love that he had when he came in at that particular time in 2008. I do think black men do have the right to choose who they want to vote for. What I will say from the Democratic Party, and we talked about this before, Troy, I know you want to chime in. I don't know. You may have been right. I don't know. We'll see. But I think the Democratic Party needs to do a better job at reaching out to us the entire 4 years, not just when they need something. I like parts of the plan, but my first thought was, well, why wasn't this done in August? I know you got in July, but if you're black, my first thought would be, here's a plan for black people, black women, black kids, black men. Week 1. You have to solidify the base. It's a great lesson. Never take any wins for granted until the game is over.
Facts.
There's a lot of money being spent on both sides. People don't want to say it. The election is a little bit closer than they would like it to be. She got a great start. It's interesting to see what the banks are pushing and how they're hedging their bets on who are going to win. But I think for too long, we've been taken for granted on both sides. And anytime you take something for granted, I was having this conversation with you yesterday. Like, I was talking to a friend, he's in media. I'm like, I do 2 shows with y'all all year. I still ask, hey, can I do InvestFest? I don't say, I know I'm going to be on stage. You cannot take anything, any business relationship, any voter for granted. People are over that. Those days of us just automatically put Democrat, even though it could be disastrous, those days are over. And I don't think the Democratic Party has catered to us enough. So
that's a fact. I feel like here's my thing on it, because I actually like her as a person.
I do. Me too.
So like, first and foremost.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I get negative feedback for saying that, because I like her as a person.
Yeah.
Like, I like you as a person, right?
Like you too. Hey, are you a Democratic shill? Do we get paid to?
I haven't gotten a check.
If you want to send one.
But once again,
yeah,
this isn't personal. It's just business.
It's business.
That's what they say all the time, right? It's not personal. It's business.
Yeah.
I feel like it's bigger than her. It's for the Democratic Party, right? Where they're saying, okay, they're using this as a scapegoat to hold black men accountable for the loss.
Yeah.
Probably true. But it is good that they actually are now starting to care about black men.
Absolutely.
Right? Because it's like, you saying that black women carried the victory in Georgia for them last time. Well, who's the second biggest voting block percentage-wise after black women? It's black men.
Yeah.
I didn't hear black men carried the vote.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, no, after a time of being ignored, if you ignore somebody enough,
yes.
Well, what do you think is going to happen?
A revolt.
Derek Falcon said something real years ago. He was like, support the people that focus on you.
Mm-hmm.
They should have been focusing on black men, because black men has always supported the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Even though they really have gotten nothing from it. Just being honest with you. And then people are like, well, if you don't support, then how are you going to support a racist Trump? I don't think some people really support Trump, but a lot of people they don't care about Trump. It's not about supporting like one or the other. Well, what's the alternative? People are willing to say, I don't worry about the alternative. Let's roll the dice. Because if you've been mistreated for 400 years, look at everything that we've been through in this country. Yeah. We done had the money taken from us. We had the buildings burned from Black Wall Street. We done had the FBI fucking sabotage our leaders and kill our
COINTELPRO.
We done went through lynching. We done went through mass incarceration. We done went through the government purposely putting drugs in the community, making people drug addicts, right? Like, you done been discriminated where you couldn't buy a home, been redlined, been put in bad schools, been not been able to be educated properly. You done been in areas where you just automatically have asthma because the air quality is so bad, right? Forced in food deserts, diabetes, high blood pressure, given syphilis on purpose.
Yeah.
Tuskegee experiment. This is real shit. This is all documented.
No conspiracy. Yep.
So it's like, you go through all of that in America and it's like, yo, this is the most serious time. Like, it's hard to people to really resonate to that, because it's like, how are you going to tell somebody that if your life is going to get drastically worse when they've already been living through hell?
Yeah.
For 4 centuries.
Yeah.
You lived through hell for 4 centuries. You're not really too concerned about how worse it can get.
Yeah. Your audience has to feel like you actually care. I'm talking to the Democratic Party, not to her in particular, but the news cycle is all day now. You can't campaign the last year. People need to feel that love every day for every 4 years that you want to vote.
And then stop saying like, yo, well, the alternative is terrible. You try to use scare tactics instead of saying like this is why we want to vote.
Yeah.
Now they're starting to do this now with different initiatives, but that should have been happening.
Yeah.
And then stop saying like, oh well, y'all support an open racist. Like I said, I don't think it's about people supporting Trump, but outside of Barack Obama and maybe one other president, who else? Jimmy Carter. I mean, you don't think any president was a friend of black people?
True.
So it's like if that, like Kanye said years ago, if racism was a deciding factor, I wouldn't live in America.
Absolutely. Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? No matter who you going, like you on Twitter, what you think Elon's thoughts about? Well, how you think about you? Like you going to work, how you think your boss thinks about you? So it's like, yeah, Donald Trump has vocalized a lot of things for sure.
Yeah.
And he's positioned himself as somebody that has been an enemy, not an ally a lot of the times. But like I said, that's not a deciding factor for people to make a decision. You're trying to use scare tactics instead of trying to actually appeal to somebody.
Yeah,
you're telling them how bad it's going to be, how much of a racist he is. Like I said, that you're talking to people that's alienated from the system anyway. They don't feel like they have no opportunities anyway.
Yeah.
They're in broken homes. They got to deal with having felonies on their record. They can't get a job. They're trying to open up a dispensary and they don't have funding. They getting cut out of everything. Every opportunity they getting cut out of.
Educated. The loan crisis is bigger than any other crisis we've had.
Yeah. And it's like Jay said back in the days, like government, fuck government. Niggas politics themselves. So it's like even people like, well, you guys have thrived under Biden's administration. We didn't thrive because of any politician. We thrived because we worked hard, was diligent, and came up with an idea that was revolutionary and put forth the work.
Yeah. Let's
just be perfectly clear. In no administration was the deciding factor on whether we was going to be successful or not.
True.
So I take part in the political process because we live in America.
Yeah.
But I'm not reliant on any political process or any political party to say this is going to be my determining factor if I'm going to be successful or not. Let's just be perfectly clear about it. If a Republican's in office, you still have to make money.
You
can't just say, "Oh fuck, it's over."
It's over with. Yep.
Let's pack it up.
You got to get paid regardless.
You got to get money regardless. What you think? What you think the world's going to stop if Trump gets elected?
No, it didn't stop last time.
It kept going.
Yep.
This shit going to keep going regardless. That's a fact. So I hear you. Which the insurrection. January 6th, they try to take over the country and all that. Like I said, you talking to people that never even felt that they was really a part of the country.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit don't mean nothing to a lot of people. And it's difficult for people to, they like, yo, how you talking like this? How can you talk like this? I'm just being real. Yeah. We speak for the have-nots. A lot of people never had any political involvement. Mm-mm. They don't believe in politics. They don't look at it like that. They don't have no strong, patriotism to the system. Yeah. This is the people that you're trying to win over.
Yeah.
That's real shit. So it's like, yeah, you can speak to, the highly educated PhDs and get them on board, but that's not the vast majority of the population that you're trying to speak to. Yeah. You got to speak to people that's been fucked over, looked over, and just disregarded. And they're not going to change that in 1 week. No. People have deep psychological trauma when it comes to this. It's going to take years.
Yep. And you have to find a way to deliver on the promises that you make. Like, it sucks. But even when we got a guest on Market Mondays, like he said it on the Republican side, most people don't even believe that when a person gets in office, they're going to keep any of those promises. To the Democratic Party, I'm not talking to her specifically. The Democratic Party, you should just clearly state, Black men, this is what I'm going to do for you. Black kids, here's what I'm going to do. Black women, here's what I'm going to do. Make it super simple and make it believable. Don't sell a bill of goods that you won't be able to fulfill. And once you get in office too, don't say fuck black men either. It happens a lot. So,
no, you got to talk real shit. Like I would just go on these programs and just saying real shit. I can't promise you nothing. But, I'm with you. Yeah. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do that. Just whatever you can say, just be honest about it, right? And like I said, I give her credit because she's trying.
Yeah, she is.
So I don't want to make it. It's not even about her.
Yeah.
It's not about her. But I'm just saying it's the political process as a whole.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for her, she's just in the position right now. So she's getting the blunt of it. Yeah. But People's been, and we thought, like, people thought Barack Obama was such a change agent because he was the first black person that ever really had a real chance of becoming president.
Yeah.
So that, but they didn't see their lives change. So I'm not even blaming him for it, but I'm just saying you got to understand. They're like, well, why are you not supporting? Because you support Obama. Why? You supported somebody, you got him elected 8 years, and you still living paycheck to paycheck. So that person in Cleveland, Ohio, they like, this shit ain't really helped me.
Yeah.
Whether it's right or wrong, that doesn't matter. I'm just saying the psychology of the person. It's important that people never want to think about that. Like, everybody's in a selfish mindset. They're looking at it like, oh, well, fuck you. Like, you guys are selfish and you're holding up the election and and y'all don't even know what y'all want to ask for. It's not even about asking for nothing a lot of times.
But even with that, I think we know the question is, will we be heard? I asked the question 2 years ago. Why isn't Market Mondays streamed off whitehouse.gov? Because it will help every American in the country.
Yeah,
that's a one small little thing. Like, I think black men know is, will you come talk to black men when it's not election season and hear what they have to say?
Or it's like a lot of things. You could ask for something and it's not going to happen. You could ask for reparations. It's not going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
You can ask for access to capital. It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen at scale.
You can ask for total criminal justice reform, bail reform, sentencing guidelines. Not gonna happen. Probably. We've asked for that. So that's why people are like, yo, y'all don't even know what y'all want to ask for. No, we ask for everything. It just doesn't happen. What you want to ask for? We want reparations. That's not realistic. Well, you just asked me what you want to ask for.
Yeah.
I just asked for something. Like, what I'm saying? You telling me it's not realistic. All right, cool. What else you want? All right, we want to have funding for all small businesses across America if you're a black male. That's not realistic. You can't do that. Well, you just asked me for something.
Absolutely. We'll ship all the money overseas.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're not going to listen, or or everything that we ask for is going to be unrealistic, then you can't say we don't ask for nothing.
Yeah. Then the Freedom Fund, it's like, bro, they're dismantling shit. And then they blame it on wokeism, and it's like they weaponized a term that we made, took it to corporate and demonized it in corporate so we wouldn't get those benefits.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why the country is like in such an uproar. And there's a lot of white Americans that feel like this too, Democrats. Not just black men.
But it's not even a lot of white American Democrats. That's the problem too. It's like you saying like, oh, black people, y'all voting against your own interests. Like, how can you do this? Well, is it in the interest of poor middle class white women to vote Republican when they talking about reproductive rights? They talking about affirmative action. You know who the biggest recipient of affirmative action is?
Who?
White women.
Yep.
Is it in their best interest to be anti-affirmative action? They're the biggest recipients of affirmative action.
Yeah.
Right? They vote against their interests all the time.
Yeah.
Is it in the best interest? This is the first time like in 50, 60 years that the Teamsters are not endorsing a candidate. You know why? The Teamsters, the biggest union in America, they always go Democrat. It's Democratic stronghold. They did an internal poll and they had so many members that were supporting Trump. The leadership could not endorse the Democratic candidate Kamala Harris, right? Why would a union that has voted Democrat, supported Democrats for 60 years, Democrats have bent over backwards for unions. Republicans always try to break up unions. Why would they vote against their own interest to the point where they can't even endorse a candidate because she's a black woman?
Yeah.
They vote against their interests all the time. So it's like, people was like, Obama, you talking to black men like this, but you're not talking to other groups like that. Then they're saying, well, you don't talk to black men the same way you talk to everybody. They're like, you guys went and talked to, well, the difference with us is that we're equal opportunists. We talk to black men in a harsh manner when they need to, but we talk to white people all the time in the same manner.
Yep.
But we're media personalities, so we have more leeway. I understand that.
Yeah.
Politicians can't talk the way that we talk.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, but if you can't talk the way that we talk, don't talk like that to anybody. Be a diplomat across the board. If you got to be a diplomat because you're a politician, don't only be a diplomat when it's time to talk to white people. Be a diplomat to black people too. Because they're the ones that got you elected.
True.
Like, they're the ones that got you elected because you still lost the majority of white people.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about that. Barack Obama lost the majority of white people 2 times. He won 95% of black people. He won 85% of Latino. That's how he got elected. And won like 40% of white people. He lost the majority of white people every single time that he ran.
We're not going against Uncle Barack, though.
No, I'm just saying that's real shit, though.
Yeah.
It ain't. That's what I'm saying. It's not. People take these things and they get. It's not about being personal. It's not personal.
Yeah.
It's a power structure.
Absolutely.
So it's like that's another thing with black people. We are very emotional a lot of times, and we can't like we can't differentiate as far as like this is just politics because the politicians do it all the time. They'll go behind closed doors and they'll make deals with foreign countries, and they don't really want to do that, but they don't have no choice. It's just business.
Lay down. Yep.
It's just business. So like I said, I personally like Kamala. I don't know Obama, but I voted for him.
I did too.
And I personally like him as far as what I've seen. I like what he represents. A black family. He's the first black president. And I'm always going to go for the black person as long as they're not crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to support them regardless if it's comparable, because why would I not? But I also got to be honest as well, right? You can't talk to people like that have supported you. These are your supporters. And if you are going to talk to them like that, talk to the other groups the same manner, because they're doing dumber shit than black men.
Do you think this Democratic Party is the same as the one that we had in 2008 when he got elected? I think the Democrats are fighting for, and Republicans too, are fighting for what their real identity is. And the thing with Barack, he was incredibly qualified. Landslide, like once in a lifetime, generational talent, intellect, political strategy, business acumen, patience. Like you do a whole case study on him alone. So I just think we're in a very interesting time in history. We are definitely at a fork in the road, but going back to the parties and the businesses, and for everyone watching tonight, figure out what benefits you're going to give to people to help their lives become better. I don't have a clear answer from the Republican or Democratic Party, no matter what talking points you guys may give out or spew. So,
yeah.
Do you think the first person who grows on Rogan is going to
win? No, because I think they're speaking to an audience that's leaning towards Trump anyway, right? Majority of Rogan's audience is white people.
Yeah.
And majority of white people is going to vote for Trump. So that's what I'm saying. It's really it's not even that simple. It's not even that complicated. Yeah. White people going to vote for Trump, right? They need overly sized amounts of black people. 85% is not enough. Like they need overly sized amounts of black people to even take part in the process for the Democrats to win. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Why are white people like, people always say like, okay, well, why is black men why are black people so beholden to Democrats? Why are white people so beholden to Republicans? Got to ask that question. Are you voting because of economic policy? Well, we know that the vast majority of people are struggling financially, white and black people. The average white person makes $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
So you go to these states like Louisiana and Alabama and all these Republican strongholds. These are the poorest states in America.
Yep.
There's no, these people are on welfare, numbers wise, higher than black people. Numbers wise.
Yep.
Right. So, okay, you're voting against your own interests. But the smart thing that the Republicans did is to convince these people of racial identity politics. They played a race card. That's why they played a race card.
Absolutely.
They smart. These people are intelligent. They don't really, at the highest level possible, it's not about race, it's about money.
Absolutely.
But they understand that if they can play the race card, they can get votes from ignorant, poor white people, because they feel that voting Republican is a form of racial pride.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why they vote Republican. Why don't we got to start asking these questions as opposed to just always asking the question of, yo, why y'all just voting Democrat, and why are we not going to support the Democrats? Well, why is everybody doing dumb shit in America?
Yeah.
Everybody's doing dumb shit.
Capital gain, no pun intended.
Like, you know,
that's the reason why.
Everybody's doing dumb shit.
Yep.
Everybody's doing dumb shit on all sides.
Taking their audience, weaponize it, monetizing it at the highest scale.
That's why I said the politics is all one big game.
Yeah.
They make you feel ashamed if you black, if you don't vote Democrat. They make you feel ashamed if you're white and you don't vote Republican. You vote against your own interest all the time. Everybody votes against their own interest.
Yeah. I think it just comes down to what are you going to offer and who keeps their word. And if you're going through the same cycle every 2 years, every 4 years, at some point, someone needs to, like, remember when they reformed the Dream Team basketball and they like built the actual infrastructure? Democratic Party needs to do, like, I don't know if, hypothetically, if she doesn't win, who is the next rising star in the Democratic Party to be president? I don't know on the Republican side either.
Well, the Democrats, they got Gavin Newsom. That's what they're grooming for the next run.
I can see it. Gavin, I love you. Appreciate you. If you do get in the White House one day, please invite us. I don't know if he'll win.
Well, I'm just saying that's what they grooming.
Yeah. So interesting times. But what do you guys think? What do you think both parties can do better? What does a country need to do better? And I know sometimes when I'm railing about how America's lost its lore, it's part of the reason why. I said it 3 years ago. I can't name you 5 candidates that I will let run my company, let alone the country. That's sad.
That's a fact.
That's sad.
And for me personally, like I said, I like her.
I do too.
And I have more Democrats that I'm friends with than Republicans just because I don't know a lot of Republicans.
Yeah.
So you can say I lean towards Democrat. You can say that. But I don't have allegiance to any political party. I don't believe in politics in that way. I don't believe in politics as far as like the savior. Only God only God can save you.
Yeah.
Right? And you save yourself. But I don't believe in politics because I understand that it's all run through money.
So what you saying the day before the election, you playing Black Republican on Market Mondays? If you come down here with a MAGA hat, man.
Oh man, MAGA hat crazy.
Do you think presidential candidates should have come to InvestFest?
Of course.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity. Especially when you have a state like Georgia that Democrats are losing in. They won the state last year. It's in Atlanta. You talking about black men. You got Ian Dunlap, 19 Keys, Steve Harvey, 50 Cent, Shannon Sharp, Terrence J. I mean, just on Sunday alone, let's just go on a Sunday.
Yeah.
What day? You spoke on Sunday, right?
Yep.
On Sunday, you spoke.
Yep.
Then it was us and 50 Cent. It was Terrence J and Damon John.
Yeah.
It was Steve Harvey and Stephen A. Smith. It was Tyrese and Kenny Brown. I mean, you're talking about a photo op.
Yeah.
Right. These
great opportunity.
These are some of the most well-known, famous people
in our community.
Black men, all black men.
Yeah.
Let alone the day before when we had the whole marathon team, Nipsey Hussle's family, his children. Cultural moment.
That would have been iconic, yo.
You're talking about cultural moments? Pinky Cole, Derek Hayes. Cultural moment for black men.
Yeah.
Tremendously missed opportunity.
Don Peebles, man.
What? I don't even understand it.
Yeah, I don't either. You can't take anything for granted until the wins on the board.
Focus on the people that's focused on you.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Let's get into some relationship questions.
Oh God.
So Spiritual Word, shout out to Sean, shout out to Spiritual Word.
Mm-hmm.
They posted it said most men are in happy relationships, married and raising kids with women they initially thought they just hit and run.
That's salacious.
How you feel about that?
Carry 1 decimal point. I think it's true. I think a lot of times we plan to be in relationships with people and things don't work out, and then you'll meet another vibe, think you just gonna have a good time, and then the vibe continues into something a little bit more. Oh, to the OnlyFans girls and the bottle girls that I offended last week. Baby, I was not talking about you. You know I was not talking about you in particular. Come on now. Who am I to judge what you do with your life, right?
Oh, you got some pushback on that?
A ton. Shout out to the OnlyFans community. Shout out to the bottle girls. The
OnlyFans community.
Poop to the ears in the back. Whatever you choose to do, baby, I'll support. You tech to index. But yeah, sometimes a casual vibe can turn into, oh shit, you kind of cool. Stay around. You know, it'd be the bougie ones who you think be wife material, then they be a headache or be entitled. How you gonna come somewhere with me out the country and then you won't take 2 photos, but you want to flick up? Like, no, last trip, you can stay right in motherfucking Tallahassee or wherever you came from. So, yeah, sometimes it's happened. Like a little casual vibe can turn into a more serious vibe. And yeah, sometimes I think you have to judge the energy and not have an expectation going in. But what do you think?
I think it comes down to a lot of people sometimes. You know remember that Kendrick Lamar album when he sampled Tupac's interview?
Yep.
When he was like, they take the soul out of a black man. Like by the time you turn 30, like you gotta get everything in your 20s because like by the time you turn 30, like that's when that was some real shit because I understood what he was saying as far as you start to see people's light just dim, right?
Yeah.
And it's like responsibilities come in and you can't work out, you gain weight, you lose your self-esteem, and you got kids and you just stuck in a dead-end job, and
life's beating you down.
It's like, yeah, that shit just catches up to you, bro. And then it's like, you know, before you know, you just say fuck it, you know what I'm saying? And that's part of it, being in a relationship. Like, you just be like, yo, fuck it, you start settling.
Yes.
And it's like, yo, fuck it, man, you know, this shit better than, I know this person. And this goes for both ways.
Yeah.
But me, I was never on that type. I never, like, I'm always going to be on, like, I'm going out in a blaze of glory type shit before I just give up. Yeah, I ain't giving up on life. I'm not going to give up and just say, fuck it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll go out in a blaze of glory before I just say, fuck it, throw in the towel.
No.
Let's just ride out these 50 years until I die type shit. But a lot of people do that.
Absolutely.
So I think that's real. Like, you know what I mean? As far as like on relationships, but just in life.
Yeah.
People give up on their dreams. People doing things for work that they didn't think that they was going to be doing.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many people's working a job that they would have never thought that they were going to be doing.
True.
When they was a kid and they wanted to fucking be an astronaut or shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? Then by the time you become a teenage elite, like an 18-year-old, and you realize that shit's not going to happen, and you start to just settle for what's realistic.
Yeah.
The word
that realism is a trap.
Realistic is the most dangerous word in the dictionary. Motherfuckers tell you realistic to keep you on a certain level, bro.
Absolutely.
Realistic, what does that even mean? Ain't no such thing as realistic. Elon Musk about to fucking have a whole colonization of Mars. Like, realistic is the most dangerous word in the dictionary, man. That's why somebody tell me that realistic shit, I don't even want to hear it.
I do not want to hear that shit. Yeah, I used to get told it a lot. You have delusions of grandeur and all that shit. My life is grand now. I don't know what you're doing. And blessings to you. If you want to put an astronaut helmet on for Halloween or for your OnlyFans, may not be a bad idea. But yeah, that realism shit, that's a trap.
That's a fact.
And that's going back to the covered in hate. Please be mindful. And I know people mean you well, but it's much better to go after what you want and possibly fail and learn from it and adjust than to settle for some shit that you don't want and end up hating your life.
And the biggest way to fuck your life up is to be in a bad relationship.
I agree.
That's the fast track. That's the cheat code to fuck your life up.
Yes.
Quickly.
First class flight to hell while living. Women too. You got to be mindful. I know some of y'all be like, yo, we've been trying to work this out 4 or 5 years. Sometimes God is going to keep sending you the same test until you learn to pass it and let some shit go. I'm not telling you to walk away if y'all got a good situation. But some of you have been in like damaged relationships for 7 years. I'm like, this shit ain't going nowhere. Let it go. Let it go. Some of y'all in damaged business relationships, like, please be mindful.
That's a fact. Yeah. And I will say this too. People like, back to the political thing for a minute. They're like, well, New York Times, they came to InvestFest and that's the only thing that they wrote about. Yeah, for sure. Because we have no expectations for mainstream media to do the right thing. And that's why they didn't put my part in there, but me and Black Sam got an interview with the New York Times person when they were there, and she was, shout out to her, she was, you know, nice lady, but I'm just being honest. She was asking me all these political questions, and I'm like, well, this is not about politics. It's about economic empowerment. Yeah. You know, you come to an event with 20,000 people. Why are you spinning it to be politics? Same thing happened with CNN when they came year 2. Yeah, they had to make it about politics and shit like that. But that's why we create our own media platform. But I have no expectations of mainstream media covering it in the right manner possible. Yeah. But they did bring up, it is an important conversation. Yeah. Whether they doing this on an agenda, whether they trying to blame this on Black men, I'm totally probably in agreement with that. But sometimes shit like bad things have to happen for good things to happen. So they're saying like this is a bad thing because they're trying to sabotage Black men. Mm-hmm. Well, it's actually, in my opinion, it's a good thing. Because for the first time that I remember, Black men are in the spotlight. Absolutely. And it's forced the presidential candidate to actually come out with an agenda just for Black men. I haven't seen that. I don't remember that happening before. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, whether it was done intentionally to try to, you know, smear the waters and make it look like Black men is the reason why this whole ship is falling apart. Yeah. Well, hey, fuck it. Maybe that's what's needed because they didn't listen before. Like that's what Tupac said. Like they didn't listen. Yeah, so nigga burned it down. Like sometimes you gotta have violence for people to listen. They're like, yo, you would sabotage this election.
And maybe the cost is needed to make you then listen.
You didn't listen to it. Burnt it down.
Hey, it's tough. Do you think Barack was too tough for real on black man?
Yeah, I think
his tone wasn't bad. I didn't love the message, but his tone wasn't.
I think that the way he went about it was wrong because it's once again he's saying like, yo, if you not supporting, paraphrasing, you're not supporting Kamala, then that means that you have a problem with a woman being in office.
Yeah,
and like I said, I think that they looking at it the wrong way. I don't think they looking at it like it's Trump versus Kamala. They're not looking at it like it's fuck everything.
Yeah.
Fuck everything.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm willing to just burn this shit down. I'm willing not to vote. I'm willing to write in a name. I'm willing to, or I'm willing to just vote for Trump just out of spite. But it's I'm not seeing a bunch of MAGA hats in black neighborhoods, but I am seeing a lot of black people. And then people are like, well, this is not real. These numbers are not real. I'm doing off the eye test.
Yeah. And feeling.
I don't got to go by the poll. Yeah. I'm in communities with people. I'm in barbershops. I'm in restaurants. I'm
private conversations.
And I'm hearing this shit with my own ears. And they saying like, nah, I'm not jacking this shit. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not going for it.
And anytime you have this much civil unrest, things can always go wrong. This isn't 2008. Even Biden was a little tricky on if he was going to win. You're not going to have a landslide. So, and if I'm wrong, Troy, I'm going to come on Market Mondays and say I was wrong.
Yeah. So I think that just trying to discredit the information, saying that it's bots, saying that it's not real, once again, y'all missing the point. And that's even more disrespectful because people are crying out loud saying that this is, and you just trying your hardest to discredit. It's not real. It's bots. If y'all don't vote for her, that means that you're sexist.
Yeah.
Bro. You can't fight against the wave. You can't fight the wave.
You think we ever see change in our lifetime?
I mean, change always comes. It comes in small pieces, though. It's kind of hard to have like mass change on a revolt level. Like that's kind of difficult the way that, you know, this power structure has been set up.
Yeah.
But change come. I think we've seen change. But it's small increments over the course of time.
Yeah.
Right. So I think y'all got to really start listening to people, man, and really start to rethink this thing, because it's like, all right, it's 15% now, let's say, black men that's going to vote Republican. What if that turns to 20? What if that turns to 30?
They lost a lot of the Latin market.
What if that turns to 40? Yep. Now you're really fucked for generation. Now you're in, it's going to be difficult to ever win an election ever.
Yeah. And don't let Trump put together, see what she's doing and put together an economic plan and try and deliver on it. It's going to be more Chef G's at the rallies with him in real time.
That's a fact.
You have to be careful. You have to be careful. But let's put it in the comments. What do you guys think? Who are you voting for in the election, or who are you leaning towards voting for? Maybe we can do like a quick little poll here to see where everyone is leaning.
That's a fact. Oh, question from the audience. Somebody said,
why are you so passionate, Rashad?
Yeah,
and your takes on why do you feel it's necessary to prove your point?
Why do I always feel necessary to prove my point, and why do I get so passionate about it?
Well, Eric about to say I'm passionate about my shit.
Facts. I don't know. I think we all have personalities, and I feel like your personality is usually dictated by childhood, early childhood.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, for me, like I have a brother and a sister, but they're older than me. I didn't grow up with my brother and sister, like as far as like, you know, when I was in 7th grade, my brother was in 12th grade. Okay. I always hung out with older people.
Got you.
Like I was hanging out with him and his friends when I was in 7th grade. Like my friends was in 12th grade. I was hanging out with 18-year-olds when I was 12 years old.
That's crazy.
But I'm isolated as far as like that. And you hang around with older people. One or two things happen when you're a kid that hangs around with older people.
Mm-hmm.
You either are a submissive person that gets bullied and then you just become like a gopher.
Yep.
Or you become very stubborn, hot-headed, and you're forced to be respected.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to respect you if you 8 years younger.
Yeah.
And I was never going to be somebody that was going to be bullied or a gopher. So that would only lead to the other option, right? Yeah. Where it's like you had to fight for everything. Like, I mean, like you gotta fight for everything. And that is something that's ingrained in you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It could be a character flaw, but it's also probably a reason why I was able to be successful.
True.
Because I didn't listen to what anybody was telling me. I always had a problem with authority.
Yeah.
like this is not something to brag about, but it's just a fact. Like, I mean, like I got kicked out of basketball teams my whole entire life. Arguments with coaches. I always had an issue with authority. But that same passion to not want to be told what to do was the reason why I had to be an entrepreneur. I have no choice.
You have a choice.
I have a choice. It wasn't an option for me to work a job because I knew that I have very strong issues when it comes to people telling me what to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it something that you're working on actively, or you going to be like, fuck it for the rest of your life?
I mean, you are who you are.
Yeah.
And like I said, I feel like, you know, everybody has good things and has bad things. But what can be considered a bad thing, you take that away, it's a ripple effect.
That's true.
It's needed sometimes.
Yeah, it's needed sometimes.
It's needed. Like who you are got you to this point.
Absolutely.
You start to fuck with that. Now you start, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a motherfucker that they like, yo, he's in the league, but he dribbles too much. So now he starts to pass more. Well, he didn't get to the league by not dribbling.
Yeah.
You trying to change his game now. He's already in the All-Star game. Yeah. Like now you trying to fuck up his shot. Marquise fault. Like they try to fuck up the number one draft pick.
Yep.
They trying to fuck up his shot. There's a reason why he's the number one draft pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or he might have an ugly shot, but it was good enough for him. He didn't even play varsity in 11th grade. His story is crazy. He got cut from like his varsity team in like 10th, 11th grade. And all of a sudden he just becomes an All-American in 1 year. And then he becomes the number one draft pick. Yeah. And then if you go through all of that adversity, you prove yourself, you the number one player in the country, and now you start to change your shot. Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I got here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, like, y'all want to change mechanics of people.
Bridges.
Yeah. Yo, there's a reason why they're number one draft pick. Yeah. Why would you change the mechanics? And this shit has not worked.
Yeah. True.
It hasn't worked.
True.
It's not like they changed the mechanic. You can't, they 22 years old, you're trying to change the mechanics. Now he's not even in the league no more.
Yeah, it sucks. You got to play these trends. I know people may criticize the passion for Me Too at times, but it's like, is it better to not be passionate and be bland and vanilla and not be able to speak your mind? Like, for what? No, you have to choose what kind of person. And there's drawbacks to doing it. And I know some people like, yo, be politically correct, but it's like, why be politically correct if the political system isn't working for us?
That's a fact. And then it's like, yo,
like, what are we talking about?
Like I said, I mean, sometimes you can always change. You can always become a better person.
Absolutely. You
got to be open to criticism. That's important.
Absolutely. How do you handle conflict with those who are former colleagues or former friends? We don't got to go deep into the, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think how you handle conflict with if they're a former friend, they don't need to handle it. It's done. It's over. Let lying dogs lay. That's my thing. Like, it's good to have a peace treaty though. Oh no.
If we are friends.
Got you.
If we got a working relationship, like if me and you have an issue, we got to figure out that issue.
Yeah.
We got to figure that out. What if somebody that I'm not even talking to anymore?
Yeah.
It's a waste of energy.
You think too many enemies can end up being a liability to empire?
For sure. But you need strong enemies if you want to be special.
Okay, Elon, tell me more. What's up?
Well, I never forget, we was at dinner with somebody who was superstar in broadcasting, right? Very highly respected person for over the course of 30 years.
Yeah.
And we was just talking about like, yo, you know, as far as like people, how do people break into that next level of stardom, right? How do people break into that next level of like superstardom?
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying like one of the best ways to do that is to have strong opposition.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking strong opposition. I'm thinking like, you know, like the weirdos on live, that YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's not strong opposition. Like they're not
powerful. Yeah.
Strong opposition is like you got the NRA on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got, and she was like, but it's like, think about it. Like even Kim Kardashian, right? Like she has strong opposition.
Yeah.
But it's also elevated her.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate her, but she's the most followed person on Instagram, like number 3 Instagram followers, right? Like strong. And even Nipsey Hussle's last tweet, it's a blessing to have strong enemies.
That's crazy.
Every powerful person has had strong opposition.
Yeah.
You've never seen a powerful person in history that has not had strong opposition against them.
True. That's true.
So it's like, I don't think you could really, of course, it's always better to be, you know, have diplomacy when you can, but enemies, I mean, you can't, sometimes in life, it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
It's unavoidable.
Yeah.
So
sometimes it's better just to distance yourself away from certain people.
For sure. But they could still be an enemy.
True.
Like you might not be battling with somebody, but somebody's still battling you. Yeah. If I'm walking away from somebody and they punch me in the back of my head, they're still fighting you. They're still fighting me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I might not be fighting the person, but that doesn't mean that the person's going to stop fighting me.
And I always tell y'all, if y'all battling me, why don't y'all punch up and go for Buffett? Because pretty soon, I'm going to quit talking about a lot of this shit in aggregate. I'm like, why am I your litmus test goal? I'm trying to get to Tudor Jones, Buffett. But, you know, what do I know? That's interesting times we live in. But I agree. Even when I was in Jersey talking to Joe, he was saying the same thing. He like, even in the media space, it's good to have some of that hate because they'll drive up the metrics more than a fan will. He was like, you'll be surprised at how many people who may not like me or watching every week to see if I'm going to fall off, and they're driving the numbers up.
Thanks.
I said, damn, I never thought about it. Like the same Mayweather thing. A lot of people was tuning in for 8-9 years to see if he'd get knocked out. Hell of a draw. Will this be the one? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Learning how to monetize the hate or opposition.
Facts.
Need it.
Facts.
Yep. If you was a world-renowned financier, hypothetically, that did business all over the world, and all of a sudden you fell out of a plane and perished, wouldn't it behoove you to leave some of that money to some of your kids or have kids and leave it to them so you can keep your empire going? Or do you think that person may have died without having children? Conspiracy Bag, brought to you by Alex Jones.
If somebody was a financier and they died without having children?
Yeah.
Well, everybody doesn't have children.
What's the probability of a billionaire not having any kids?
Same probability as a regular person.
Impulse. What?
I think poor people have more kids than rich people. Everybody that I knew, like my grandmother had 14 kids. I met somebody whose grandmother had 24 kids. I never met no rich person that had 24 kids, 14 kids. That's back in the days, like it's down south, shit like that. But just think about it. Even in Africa, right? I mean, the highest growth rate, right? For it's unfortunate, but just we gotta be honest, it's the poorest continent. GDP. What's the Asia? One of the richest continents has negative growth rate. Yeah. Europe, wealthy continent, negative growth rate. Yeah. America's growth rate is not negative, but it's not on a level of,
yeah.
So when most of the time you're gonna have more kids in poverty than you are, because think about it, when you become educated now, you start think differently. You start to be a little bit more precautious. You start doing different things. It's you know, when you up 20, 10 million, you ain't really just trying to have 30 kids. It's not responsible. You realize how much you got to pay, how much you start to calculate things. Every kid is going to cost $1 million. But when your circumstances are lower, as far as on the income realm, you don't really think about that the same way.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Okay. Great Euro. Great Euro. That's the one. Make it turn around. Oh my God. Okay. I ain't mad at it. Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's possible that a billionaire doesn't have kids. It's possible. Possible.
Okay. I ain't mad at it. Speaking of having kids, what you think of Victoria Monet jumping on old boy after she just got divorced? Hey, Victoria, big girl, your fine ass. Listen, that's crazy for you to win a Grammy. And them family photos tell a lot of truth.
Well, I'm not sure if she was actually ever married. I think she might have been engaged. I know she was definitely engaged, for sure. Yeah, because she told the story about how her boyfriend engaged to her got engaged and proposed to her during the pandemic. Then she found out she was pregnant at the same time.
Oh, you tried to trap her when you heard the slaps. I got you.
So they was, but I mean, hey, this goes back to the power dynamic thing, right?
Yes.
People always get mad at me when I say these things, but it's real shit. I mean, she becomes a superstar. I'm assuming that she starts making a lot more money. I'm not sure what the brother does, but I don't think that he's famous. I don't think that he's, that level.
Yeah.
It's hard. The power dynamic changes when a woman makes more than a man. That's just a fact.
It's true. You can go back, talk to your grandmas, your great aunties. They'll tell you, hey, it's cool. Maybe for 6 months if y'all really in love. When Her and the baby had the matching outfit at the award show, but he didn't have it. Trouble. Trouble in paradise. We don't coordinate all the outfits together, and we supposed to be family. Oh, baby. Wrap it up. Fellas, you got to see this out. Another one of them ball players. Y'all got to be careful.
No, he's not a ball player. Stormzy is he's a rapper. He's like a
got you.
Yeah, British rapper. Yeah. Stormzy. Yeah.
Damn, that's hard. And they get the bond over the artistic. But hey, if you go get you a little artistic, babe, you better get some fucking artiste in you. I'm telling you, them little studio sessions, and I'm gonna help you with your little Pro Tool file. Gotta be careful, y'all.
Yo, it's a cold world, man.
Cold world,
It's a cold world. It's a cold world.
She look happy as hell jumping in his. Ooh, Jesus, big fine too. That's crazy. What you tell your mama if you see your ex jumping in somebody else's arms? Baby, what happened? My grandbaby got before the holidays too. That's nasty work. It ain't even Halloween yet. Spooky season.
Spooky hours. Spooky hours. For sure.
Yeah. Y'all letting y'all girls dress up crazy for Halloween, or y'all doing it, but would you let your girl dress up crazy for Halloween?
Well, you can never really let somebody do anything.
That's
everybody has the right to do whatever they want to do.
You are great. Yeah. Whoever that 30-year expert was, Troy, whoever y'all sat down with, hey, Auntie Oprah, whoever it was, boy, you are good. You gonna be in the cabinet one day. That's it.
Vitally important.
Yeah.
Vitally important, man.
But it's a good lesson. You can't, it's a mistake to tell somebody what to do or what not to do. They should just know. Helps a hell of a lot.
Facts.
Yeah.
You forced in an environment, or based off of your decision is going to determine my reaction to that decision.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if she ain't already hitting you, babe, what you think about if I... Now the signs you may be... Y'all need to pick up on these clues. Yeah. When they stop including you in the planning, they planning to be with somebody
If your girl's wearing lingerie to a sleepover party...
Finito.
That's a decision that she made.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's your reaction to that decision?
Very
your
true.
reaction is going to determine everything.
And sometimes they're going to test you to see if you're a bitch. You can handle shit and not be upset. Oh, I really don't like that, baby. Can you? But if you get irate or don't say nothing, shout out to the ladies who be having y'all in the spin cycle. Shout out to y'all. I'm going to help y'all catch a scent by December. Yep.
But that goes back to the communication thing, right? I feel like if you're in a relationship, part of the regular communication is like, yo, how you feel about this? Like you get different, she might wear different outfits. Like, how you feel?
Yeah.
What you think about this?
If she not sending you the pics, bro, and trying them on in front of you, tell her, but y'all got to be present. Stormzy was present.
You celebrate Halloween?
No. I don't. You?
I did, and the only time I did the Halloween thing was in London.
Yeah.
We had a party, and I was Eazy-E.
That was fire, yo.
I would have just wore that just on a random Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
that's for the wig too.
Maybe not the wig.
It got you,
but the everything else. Shout out to Compton. Yep. But I've never really been big on like Halloween.
Not me either.
It's for the kids and they do the shit, but it's definitely deep rooted in some devil shit.
What about Day to Dead? Before I let know this.
Well, no disrespect to, I don't want to speak about that because I'm not educated on it.
Okay.
I'm not educated on it.
Got you.
And I don't want to offend anybody's
that
culture.
Audience, we're not going to offend.
I don't want to offend anybody's culture.
Yep.
Doesn't sound too holy. I'll say that much.
What's a celebration of those who passed?
Okay.
To remember those.
Well, shout out to them.
Yeah.
The ancestors.
But Halloween is
some devil shit. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah. It's becoming the biggest holiday too.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure. So, like I said, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, but all of these holidays, Thanksgiving, what does that even mean?
Chance to give thanks. What you think Doja Cat gonna be for Halloween?
Devil. Same thing.
Some big fucking horn. I know.
She on some devil shit.
Last 2 years
on some random Wednesday. She gonna wear the devil outfit.
Jesus, Doja, come back home.
In September, she gonna do that. Wow. What's the fashion? What's people's fascination with devils?
I don't know.
Because I feel like even the Illuminati talk and all that, you sold your soul to the devil, and people like the checker the chessboard thing. You seen that checkerboard?
Yeah.
The white black checkerboard thing, and all of this. Like, I realized that people are very fascinated with
the dark elements.
Yeah.
Even though y'all playing with the brujeria shit and something, y'all better be careful. You gonna ask for some shit and it's gonna pop up and not leave.
Well, where does that come from? Now, where does the fascination with devil come from? Has that always been there?
Truth be told, and this may be a hot take, because so many people have given up on religion, they've swayed the other way to see if the darker arts or magic will give them power that religion didn't give them. So one time I was going to the shorty crib, right? Walking the crib, beautiful girl. My God, you be geek. Like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do when I get here. Motherfucker had a 9 foot tall with Santa Muerte shrine. I said, what the fuck? No, that's Mother Mary. Bitch, they ain't no Mother Mary I ever seen. Nope. Fellas, if they got a shrine with all them candles, Bath and Body Works don't even sell all them candles no more, yo. Got 37 candles up there. Hey, Vamanos, mama. I'm so sorry. Gots to go. But I think because religion, I'm not talking about God, but religion has failed enough people where people checked out of religion, and some of them want to dance on the dark side. You got to be careful, though. Got to be careful. You're going to call for the boogeyman, and Candyman ain't going to go away.
Yeah.
Got to be careful.
I mean, whatever anybody wants to do, it's America. You can do whatever you want, but I just never understood the fascination with that.
Yeah.
And that's probably the number one costume for Halloween. Devil horns, people red, demons. But
going back to the racial divide, you got a spiritual divide too. They're just monetizing both sides. It's monetizing both sides.
Yeah.
It's been advertised more than ever though.
Yeah. So, yeah. Be careful.
You gotta be careful.
Do you let your son partake?
I don't love it. His mom lets him if he chooses to. I think I may have taken Xander one time trick-or-treating, and then I let him dress up. I think it was like Black Panther. It's like 3 or 4, something like that. But after that, no. I think my mom and dad let me do it maybe like 3 or 4 times, 4 to 5 times. And after that, it was...
I never do no a lot. Even when I was a kid, I never did no elaborate. I wore like a Jason mask.
Yeah.
I was never like trying to win like the Halloween costume. But my son does it. But like I said, he does like the mask and shit like that. Like, like I said, people, kids, they want to be football players or firefighter. That's cool.
Yeah.
I just think it's just when an adult, it's become a very popular holiday for adults. There's a lot of things that happen in Halloween that are interesting.
Absolutely.
It's like a window that opens up and it's like, this is a lot of interesting behavior that starts to happen in Halloween.
I agree.
Right?
You think RJ Barrett gonna pay that boy his money? Who called him out?
What happened to RJ Barrett?
He was with an OnlyFans man, and
Andre from
RJ Barrett, who's
from the Knicks.
Yeah,
he was with a what?
Allegedly. Clip me up. Some dude say you owe me some money for having fun. You don't leave the money on the counter.
Well, I mean, I would have to see footage. People
of them
anything.
In the.
No, I'm saying people say anything these days. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, we in a day and age now where somebody will say something just to go viral. Just to sue.
Even with the Jaguar right thing, I wish y'all could even if a person don't have money, sue. Just to to clean up your own personal name.
I mean, even the thing, one of the girls that was suing Diddy, she got caught in a situation where her text message, she was telling her boyfriend, if you verify my story, I'll give you X, Y, and Z amount of money. You know what I'm saying? So what that does is that actually muddies the water for people that might be real victims.
That's true.
Just in life, not talking about his case, but I'm saying just in life, right? Because we're in a situation now where people are looking at, I can say something about somebody with no evidence.
Yeah.
Right? Slander their name, fuck up their reputation, just for likes, just for opportunity for a check, just to get clout. Sometimes they don't even want to sue; they just want to get followers.
Yeah.
They know that I'm gonna get followers. This is gonna be attention to me. So,
like old girl who used to go to Greenhouse who accusing Kanye. Notorious, the other notorious B.I.G. It's crazy. Allegedly,
Greenhouse used to be a good club, man. I was in Greenhouse,
boy,
years ago.
Boy,
Greenhouse was a good club.
Said, dang,
models and bottles. That was the slogan. That was a slogan back then for Greenhouse. Models and bottles. Greenhouse, good club.
Yeah. Shout out to Kanye. Hold your head.
He's recording an album right now.
Oh, I heard
they said in Tokyo by himself. He's gonna produce the whole album. He's gonna Rap the
That
album.
isolation is key, man. Sometimes when you need to get in that creative zone, it just need to be you, the project, and God. That's why every year before InvestFest, go away, be in nature, walk around, meditate. Hey, sometimes you need that.
You ever had a paranormal experience? What does that even mean?
Like out
of body experience,
or like matters with ghosts, or you know. So yeah,
like extraterrestrial type shit.
I've never had an ET come try and take me up on one of them big ass spaceships, but I have seen a ghost before.
You seen a ghost?
Yeah, hell yeah.
What was that?
It was at my mom's house. It was my great grandmother.
You saw your great grandmother?
Yeah, boy. You remember what movie was that when old boy was like was so scared that he peed on himself? I almost peed on myself. I was grown too.
Explain what
I was like middle of the night. I get up, I walk out the bedroom, the living room's here, the bathroom's here, and I see like a shadowy figure. Like I was just like in shock, but it wasn't like a evil energy. And then I can like I just knew it was her. But I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna hold you. I was shook though. I was like,
so you just saw a shadow?
Yeah, but it was moving.
Was it words? Did she speak?
No, just moving.
Oh, just moving.
Yeah. I said, "Oh, this shit real." I told my mom in the morning, "It's like, yeah, I saw a couple weeks ago."
She said that?
Yeah. Even when I was cleaning the house in Alabama, saw her facing the wall. So
that's wild.
Yeah. So
that's wild.
So while y'all up there building all those shrines and shit, be careful because you may bring some shit back to you.
The boogeyman.
I'll play if y'all want to.
Damn.
Be careful. Yeah.
Wow, shit, man.
Yeah, you ever seen any ghosts besides SP?
Only SP.
Got the SP
in the Rolls Royce. That's it. That's the only ghost I know.
Hey,
I never seen a ghost before. Well, maybe I have and just wasn't paying attention. But I don't have any memories.
Okay. Some of y'all walking dead right now. Adam,
that's a fact.
Listen, I love you enough because you're one of my favorite white people to ever walk Earth. If you need some people from Chicago to defend you, I'll make some calls to Indiana.
So what happened with the Adam thing?
I think Ruger was finna jump on him in the studio.
So why do you think Adam? Because you seen the clip with Adam with the black dude that said he only dates white women?
Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy. Yeah.
So, okay. What's up with Adam22?
I think we're watching. I know I may make light of it at times, but I did predict this. I think we're seeing the death of a media empire. And this is what happens when you're really not going back to the passion part. I don't know if he was passionate about the things he was talking about. And as a result, when the podcast and the media landscape became easy, and Vlad will get some credit for this because he makes it look easy. But whether you think Vlad is a vulture or not, I think he cares enough about how the videos come out. Adam's setup looked like he don't give a damn.
But you have a problem with Adam?
No. It's an illustrative moment for a lot of you in media and broadcasting who think this shit is easy. That's my bigger point about podcasting, media, taking it for granted, death of Disney. Like even for an hour space, when everybody started to pop up and copy and everybody is fucking financial literacy experts with 420 credit, like how? I'm glad some of this shit burning. He's just an example. So I actually like Adam.
I seen he gave Adam Ross permission to have sleep with his wife for his birthday.
That's cap.
So you think he's
clout demon.
But what do you feel about the people that's going on the show?
They're using him for what it should be used for. I told you, I think whack. I love you. I see the moon, man. That shit finna be whack 22 media. Give about another 18 months. Everybody in Pomona go on your shit.
Pomona.
It's coming. You lucky Ransing it chose to be nice and didn't want to go over there. Hey, you gonna have some issues soon here, my boy. So, but I think it's just illustrative of when you don't care about craft and you're highlighting things that won't change a person's life. Like you're interviewing active gang members in a studio where everybody knows. Like what HBO won't do that. Vice won't do that.
How do you feel about him and Vlad? What they have in common is that they've pretty much built their platforms largely on gang culture, LA gang culture, right? Where they sit down with active gang members or retired gang members, and
Vlad too.
he sat down with Keefe D. One of his biggest moments
Yeah,
ever.
yeah, that's true.
Right? He done sat down with Keefe D. Then sat down with
Keefe's so crazy.
I mean, he sat down with a lot of older gang members.
Yeah.
He sat down with like people like Mob James, and
Yeah,
he said
yeah, he did have that run.
he sits down with
Right.
people that's like mostly like retired gang members.
Yeah,
But that's his niche. And Adam sits down with like active gang members.
mistake.
But what is the infatuation with white media personalities interviewing gang members?
I think 50 Cent said one time people want to get close enough to the safari without getting bit by the lion. I think the desire to want to know about gang culture and mob culture, especially if you didn't grow up in it or around it, there is a weird love for it because maybe they're doing some things that you wish you could have been tough enough to do.
But my thing is like, why are you portraying like Adam and Vlad? Everybody knows how I already feel about Vlad, but you're a white person, right?
Yeah.
And you know you're intelligent enough to understand what comes with gang culture.
Yep.
And you know that leads to incarceration, that leads to violence,
Yeah,
death, destruction.
Yep.
Right. Not to say that there's nothing negative, nothing positive about it, because I have friends that are gang members.
Yeah.
And they, some of them, they'll tell me like, there's positive aspects from it on a community aspect and whatever. But why are you helping to promote something that, is going to end up getting people killed? And it's like, it's entertainment for you because you're looking at it from, I'm going to get views, and it's just an entertainment value.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like you said, you're not in that world.
Yeah.
So when you go home, it doesn't matter to you. Right. But it's like, it's a little different when it's like you actually know people that are serving 150 years in jail and they're never coming home.
Yeah.
Right. Or people that's been killed, and people that's ruined their lives because
the gang.
They decide to join a gang.
Yeah.
And they're not even fully educated. They're just doing it because they see it appealing on music videos.
Yeah.
Type shit.
Or
right?
in the neighborhood.
And they look at it like this is a part of something that I need to be a part of.
Yeah.
To have some level of like camaraderie, friendship, brotherhood.
Yeah.
And then, you get forced to do some shit, and then you're going to be dead in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, why are you helping to escalate something that's only going to lead to negative outcomes?
Do we have the same feeling about it when acted in Chicago?
Yeah, but to Act's credit, he's not doing that anymore.
That's true.
He's pivoted, right? Like, to his credit, like you could say, like, yeah, he gaslighted a lot of the issues in Chicago, but from what I see now, I don't follow Act I don't follow him.
No, he don't talk about this.
But what I see now, he's doing more hip hop commentary, right?
Yeah. So
it's like, all right, you built your platform. Vlad been doing this for 20 years now. He's built the platform now where he doesn't continuously have to do this. Even Adam22.
Adam's crazy to have active members.
He doesn't have to continuously do this. Like, you bringing people on and explaining their situations on camera, and then bringing their opposition on the next day to talk about each other. And it's like, that shit just...
Because he won't have a penalty for it. They will, though. Even Trap Lil Ross, I know you and Tay Savage was joking. You keep doing these documentaries about what's going on. So at some point, they're going to go over to the UK. Got to be careful. But I've always said, too, even with the vultures, not enough black people outwork the vultures. There shouldn't be enough room for Adam to do the shit that he does if more people in media will put in the work to drown that shit out.
Or black people support the vultures. That's why when Vlad hit us up, like, I'm not going on your show. Long story short, I'm like, nah, I'm not interested in going on your show.
Yeah.
I was never going to say, he said it publicly. I wasn't going to say it publicly because I'm not trying to hurt him.
Yeah.
I don't have any malice. Like, I don't want to see him like just fall apart. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I want him to do better. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because this shit is detrimental to children that's watching this, to young adults that's watching, to young adults that's watching this shit. Like, this shit's not helpful. None of this shit is helpful. That's just not helpful. None of that shit is helpful. You're talking about gang culture. That's just not helpful. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're talking about who killed who and who got robbed and who got the get back and all that shit. That's not helpful. None of that shit is helpful. If you're going to do that, live your life and do that. Right? I can't tell somebody what to do, but I can say that that's not helpful.
Yeah.
When we have problems with mass incarceration, we have problems with people dying young. We have problems with people not being there for their family. That's a problem in our community. So you're part of either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem when you keep putting this message out there, keep putting these people on your platform. Now it's not helpful.
Yeah. You think he did a good job in telling what happened with Keefe D and the night of the Tupac thing? If you can be objective.
I mean, did he do a good job, or did Keefe D just go in there and just ramble for 2 hours and just incriminate himself? I mean,
locked, yeah.
I mean,
and I'm not going to speak on West Coast business, but at one point, when are y'all going to talk about the other people who was involved in that night too? For
Tupac?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Tupac thing is well documented at this point.
They missing one person.
They're missing somebody?
That's not. I'm staying out of West Coast business.
Please.
From the Midwest.
Please. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess he gave him a platform to incriminate himself, and as returned, he got locked up. I think I don't know where he I think he's in jail now. But I mean, if you're gonna be stupid enough to go on a internet show and detail a murder,
crazy.
That's not intelligent.
What a proffer agreement is crazy. But I don't want no smoke. Speaking of beef, how long do you think before Mark Zuckerberg gets mad and takes majority of market share away from Spotify and Apple Music? I'm seeing a lot of artists launch their shit on Instagram first. And Tim Cook, it's the last time I'm going to talk about you in a negative fashion because I love you and everybody at HQ. But whatever little beef you, Daniel, and Zuckerberg got, you better go fix that shit now. Ye put out that single. Drake put out that single. J. Cole, I didn't love it.
No, J. Cole
shit with YouTube.
J. Cole shit tough. We're not doing that. J. Cole shit tough. That's fire. He's spitting. You don't like that?
I like lyrically he was killing.
On some lyrical shit.
Yeah, on some lyrical shit. Killing. I don't like the response to anything after you walk out of war. Drake not gonna be your friend like how you used to be friends. Kendrick ain't.
But he's just saying like, yo, you did a lot for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't.
Hold your man down if it's time to go to war. If I did a lot for you.
Everybody not on that type of time. Everybody not on that type of time. Yo. No, everybody not on that type of time. He's a historical figure, right? Because I was talking to Sticks out to Sticks. And
Sticks, yeah.
The reason why J. Cole's a historical figure. He's a historical figure.
One of the best MCs of all time. So
he's a historical figure because he's one of the only dudes in hip hop history that's just been nice with no opposition. Like, he don't want no opposition.
Clearly,
there's never really been nobody that's been that nice. Like, we was trying to think about it.
I've been better.
We was like who? Like Q-Tip, but even Q-Tip, no disrespect, but Q-Tip wasn't no lyrical assassin. Nobody looked at Q-Tip like, yo, this dude is deadly with the pen. Like, I don't think Rakim had no beef, but that's not because he was light years. They just nobody was fucking with him. Nobody came to him with no problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't, because KRS, he had his battle, right? Nas, Big, Pac, Jay,
Ice Cube,
everybody's been
MC8.
Everybody's been in some type of fight.
Yeah.
And there's not, even if you look at the female MCs, Nicki Minaj, there's nobody on the top 10. Snoop, there's nobody on that top 10 list that hasn't been in no shit.
Yep. Everybody.
J. Cole, legendary, because he's the only one. I can't think of nobody. Can you? DMX. There hasn't been nobody in the top 20. Let's say the top 20.
LL Cool J. Cannabis had his run. Yeah.
The Locks, 50 Cent. I can't think of one MC that we look at that level that was on some nonviolent.
KRS One.
I don't know no nonviolent MC that we put at that level.
No. And that's why he get knocked down a couple tiers.
To what level though? He's still top 20.
Yeah.
He's the only one in the top 20 that's nonviolent.
Maybe 21. like 21st place. And I love Cole, but I don't.
But shout out to Cole though.
Shout out to Cole. Maybe I fuck with y'all, love y'all, but
the song is fire though.
Lyrically, yeah, but it's hard for me to hear any of that like I'm the best shit. And if anybody were to test, like,
no, he can't talk to I'm the best shit no more.
Shit,
now it just gotta be, yo, I'm nice.
I'm great. Yeah.
I'm nice. He can't talk
yeah.
These rappers don't even like rapping with me type shit. Like he can't talk no battle shit no more.
Yeah.
They gotta just be, yo, I'm rapping, I'm a dope ass rapper. And you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just going to just ride the beat, say some slick punchlines.
Yeah, and he's been killing all his features still, but it does take some of the allure away.
Maybe Andre 3000. Andre 3000. That's who it is. That's the one. He's the nonviolent one.
Motherfuckers don't want to fuck with Andre.
No, but he's never done any. He's never been in no battle or nothing. Like he's never been. Andre 3000 is probably the only other MC in that category that is nonviolent.
Who could fuck with him? That's tough. He wanted a Rakim type MC. Like he a tier above.
But to Andre's credit, he never really. I don't know. I didn't listen to a lot of Andre music, to be honest with you, so I can't really say that he never really provoked anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's probably the only. He's up there. He's one of these guys that was just nice,
incredible,
and nobody tried to fuck with him.
Yeah,
and he didn't try to fuck with nobody, and he's just doing some chill shit. I don't want no problems. I'm just want to do my music type shit.
Yeah,
that niggas. J. Cole just wants some. I just want to do my music type shit. Like I ain't trying to.
That ain't true. He backed up. He threw the shot out first for Drake said something.
No, he
saw that shit didn't work.
He was going at dudes subliminally. He went at Kanye.
Yeah.
He made a whole record about him.
Sure did.
False prophets.
Yeah. And then went at Kendrick, and Kendrick made that call. Y'all had that talk. Shout out to Kendrick, Big Boogie, man. I still fuck with the boys. Shout out to TV Gucci.
Oh, shout out to Drake, man. Because no matter how you feel about Drake,
yeah, one of the greatest.
He went in there with the Lions. To me, he top 5.
Man.
Because he went in there with the Lions. That takes a lot of. I respect that.
And,
win, lose, or draw. He went in there.
And y'all lying about that diss track wasn't good.
Which one?
He went in there smoke. The one where he crushed the Good Kid, Mad City van. What's the joint called?
The recent one?
Yeah.
Family Matters?
Yeah.
Family Matters is fire.
Shit was tough, yo.
But it got overshadowed by Meet the Grams. But salute to Drake, like I said.
One of the greatest ever.
Yeah, salute to Drake. But we got sidetracked. What were you saying? You was going somewhere with this conversation before the J. Cole.
I don't know.
Well, Cole world. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Nonviolent movement.
Man, if you my friend, have my back, y'all. Especially if we make millions together and shit. Don't be. What?
Andre 3000.
Oh, Meta versus Apple. Meta versus. How long before you think Zuckerberg takes significant market share? Because if all the artists are promoting their shit, TikTok fumbled the deal, whatever, Universal. Man, Zuckerberg is on a tear. I'm seeing more artists. Shout out to the little K-pop star I ran into at the game, Rosie. I didn't know how big she was. I said, damn, okay. It's other markets.
So you're saying that Meta is going to be a streaming service?
If you're already advertising your product on my platform and you can put it in stories, because even on the engagement side, the posts get more engagement if you're posting the stories in it now. What's stopping him from to having a way for artists, let's say top tier artists in the beginning, to place your product here first opposed to putting it on Spotify? It's an all-out war.
Well, they're already doing that. I think that's what they were talking about. Artists are already doing that. Drake put his song.
It out. Yeah.
Drake put the song on, and a lot of times they can't get cleared.
Yeah.
So like even the new J. Cole song is on Instagram without going on streaming services.
Which
Instagram and YouTube before, because I think got Dead President sample.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's cleared or not, but you could just drop a freestyle over somebody's beat and put it on Instagram. But throughout that whole beef, they was dropping their records on Instagram.
On IG first.
Instagram
I don't think that's by accident.
But they're also not getting paid for it. That's the problem too, though.
Maybe not now.
Like that, those songs had 10 million plays on Instagram page. They wasn't getting no money from that.
You don't think Meta cut a check for to either one of them camps at some point.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Matter, we still can't even play music on our Earn Your Leisure's page for videos.
Really?
Crazy.
That's crazy as hell.
I gotta go to my own personal page to actually put up music up.
I wonder why.
They gave us like 10 songs that we can pick from. Like, it's crazy.
You got to call the Universal building and get clearance. Yeah.
But
They played Not Like Us a hell of a. I went to Say Less. They played it there. Pergola, they played it 22 times. I said, damn.
But yeah, I mean, even TikTok. TikTok has become the breeding ground for new songs.
Yeah.
Marley, his song broke on TikTok.
Yeah.
Praise Jah in the Moonlight.
Mm-hmm.
That was a TikTok song.
Yeah.
So I feel like social media is already kind of breaking artists, breaking songs.
Yeah.
As far as if it'll become the go-to streaming, I think they'll have to change the model a little bit now, because so it's like how we listen to music. We don't listen to music like that on Instagram. Like, we don't go to a playlist. And if Instagram has a playlist,
you're in trouble.
That's going to be different.
Rap Caviar going to be in trouble. I'm always paranoid about someone who is bigger getting mad and taking an idea.
Yeah, because if Instagram has a playlist, then you don't have to leave. That's
hella watch time.
Talk about integrated vertically
for real, and especially with them AR glasses.
Because people were on they on Instagram all day anyway.
Yeah.
So now if they can just go from one side of Instagram to the music side of Instagram and just play music.
Funny though, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Those of you in the music industry, Universal, Interscope, let us know. Are they working out some kind of deal? But I can see. And when Kendrick did it, cool. But it's like Kendrick, Drake, Cole, some pop artists are starting to release. Kanye put the snippet of the new song up on IG. They're not doing that shit because they're lazy and don't want to upload it to the DSPs. So I'm wondering what's going to come, especially as these media wars start to heat up. And I know people are talking about the Google antitrust, but if you spin off YouTube, that will make them more powerful if they're publicly traded. It's an interesting landscape. I feel like halfway through this decade, we're going to see a lot of shifts politically, media, business. We've already talked about the podcasts that have died. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Thanks. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's been real.
It's been real.
We will monitor the situation. Yes.
Tap in tomorrow to learn how to teach your kids about money, 9:00 Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. And we will have some guests coming up soon. Interesting topics.
Absolutely. Almost had one a day, but thank the Lord.
Yeah, sticky waters right now.
Yeah.
Hot waters.
And I'm going to say that too. Be mindful of the enemies that you make in public for how they will attack you privately.
Facts.
Especially if they have power. Please be careful.
All right,